a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
She pointed to our left. My heart almost burst out of my ribcage. The left side of the room had a row of iron bars, like a prison cell. Inside was the scariest zoo exhibit I'd ever seen. A gravel floor was littered with bones and pieces of armor, and prowling back and forth was a monster with a lion's body and rust-red fur. Instead of paws, it had hooves like a horse, and its tail lashed around like a bullwhip. Its head was a mixture of horse and wolf, with pointed ears, an elongated snout, and black lips that looked disturbingly human. The monster snarled. For a second, I thought it was wearing one of those mouth guards that boxers use. Instead of teeth, it had two solid horseshoe-shaped plates of bone. When it snapped its mouth, the bone plates made the jarring clack, clack, clack I'd heard downstairs. The monster fixed its glowing red eyes on me. Saliva dripped from its weird, bony ridges. I wanted to run, but there was nowhere to go. I could still hear the other creatures, at least two of them, growling out in the hallway. Thalia helped me to my feet. I gripped her hand and faced the old man. Welcome to Of the Eldest Gods, where we discuss Rick Riordan's role as our godly parent.
I am Raye from Cabin 12.
And I'm Charlie from Cabin 13.
And I'm Phoebe from Cabin 13.
Oh, and I'm Emily from Cabin 10.
Whoa!
Siblings in the house.
There's so many people here. How's it going, my dudes from Monster Donut?
It's going well. It's early, but I'm always ready to talk about my friend Luke, so.
My boy Luke Castellan.
Don't you dare say his name that way.
I just re-listened to the audiobook and they pronounced it that way, and I was like, no.
Yeah, it's incorrect. I'm just not over learning that that's how Rick says it, so I guess that is the correct way to say it, and I'm like, no.
Is it though?
Is it though?
Is it though?
I don't know. Maybe if he's super pretentious, he says, yeah, my name is Luke Castellan, actually. Wow.
I haven't had my coffee yet. It's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
It's so early for all of us. We're just dying.
It's me drinking my coffee very fast. It's fine.
What are we here to talk about, guys? Why would I bring these specific people on?
It's me.
For Luke? I thought he died. Why are we talking about Luke again? I don't know.
Yeah. Charlie, if I remember correctly, didn't this come out before the book? Is that some shit that I'm making up in my brain, or
this is some shit you're making up in your brain?
Okay, never mind then.
This came out for Heroes of Olympus stuff.
That would have been such fun foreshadowing though. Okay, well cool.
Right?
I like where we put it, which is right before Titan's Curse in the order, because just that dramatic flashback of the we've got some foreshadowing. We've got so much going on. Oh man.
I was like, let's just talk about Luke after, I don't know where else.
I'll miss him every day.
Yeah, no, this I should have brought up page of the Demigod Diaries, what this is from, because that we talked about that for the fucking Guys Read thing last time.
Guys read.
They sure do. I sure hope they do.
The amount of times we said just guys being dudes last time. God. Yeah, so this was technically a Heroes of Olympus book. Came out in 2012, so this came out before the Guys Read.
Oh, okay, good.
Actually, a year before. And it's got several short stories in the Demigod Diaries book, one of them being The Diary of Luke Castellan.
Mm-hmm.
And one of these stories we will not be reading because it's not relevant to the original Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Has other characters we don't know yet. But
so I've never read this book before, so this is exciting for me personally.
Yeah, you read this short story. What are your thoughts and feelings? going into that.
Remember how last time we were complaining that the story felt a little inconsequential to everything ever? This one didn't feel like that. This one felt like a fucked up journey into a horrible time that maybe explains some things.
It's so fucking terrifying, actually.
Yeah,
This is a horror.
This is my favorite of all the short stories. I love it.
It was quite good. Here, let me tell you what happened in the diary of Luke Castellan, if that's how we choose to pronounce such things. Okay, so Luke and Thalia, remember them when they hung out and were besties? Yeah. They follow a magic goat to a very bad house. They are trapped inside with some fucked up monsters with one big tooth. They have 2 teeth, technically, because they clack them together. Yeah, I hate that. And they meet Halcyon Green, whose dad Apollo got really mad at him for literally using the powers that he gave him, and so he trapped him in a torture dungeon like the Minotaur. Fine and normal behavior for a dad. Mm-hmm. Apparently, demigods are lured here, they're looking for a treasure kept in a safe, and then the monsters eat them because no one can get out, and then Halcyon Green eats their provisions, which means that this must happen, like, very frequently. I hate imagining how many children have died here.
Yeah.
So, they're lured here by a treasure that's kept in a safe, which is trapped so that anyone who's tried to open it died. But Luke manages to finesse that shit with Hermes' powers, and he gets Thalia a bracelet. They're trying frantically to figure out how to leave, but they can't, and so Hal finally consents to reading their fortunes, and he maybe foreshadows some stuff, but most importantly, he tells them that they need fire to get out. They find a recipe for Greek fire, and they explode the entire house and kill the guy. Thalia manages to find out that the bracelet is the shield Aegis, so that's good. They escape, and they do the Annabeth scene, remember that? Yeah, great to see. She gets a knife. And now Luke has 2 daughters at 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, good for him.
Good for him.
I do feel like he and Thalia more of a queer co-parenting situation going on, though.
Yeah. At this point, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's their baby girl.
Yeah.
I'm so sad about everything all the time.
I know. It's like everything about this story, like out of context is really sad, and then in context, it is so much more sad.
Deeply upsetting. All right. Well, we have a lot of shit to cover. Charlie, bring us to do the thing.
Do the thing?
Yeah, please.
Am I Julie? Okay. Well, in case you missed it, we're gonna talk about a lot of shit today. There's a goat.
Yes.
She's kind of important. Yeah. Amalthea, I love how Wikipedia is like the most frequently mentioned foster mother of Zeus. Specifically. Because he does have many different fucking versions, but she's the most important one. It's the goat. It's always a fucking goat. Her name, it means tender goodness?
Aww.
Tender goddess. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually,
all right.
Thea's goddess. I get that.
That makes sense.
Tender goddess. Okay. Yeah. Dude. Yeah. She's a goat. She suckles Zeus. With her Pepsi teats, I guess, according to Rick. Like, why, Rick?
Rick, where does the ice come out?
I went on a deep dive, by the way, when we recorded ours, trying to figure out what Diet Mountain Dew in ancient Greek would be.
Yeah.
I got upset because I was like, no, it can't be that though. Let me look up what Mountain Dew in Greek, in modern Greek is, and it's just Mountain Dew. They don't have a Greek name for it, and I've never been so disappointed.
Wow, hate that for them.
I was like, come on, guys. Also, like, they don't sell it. Like, the only place I could find it was on what looked like basically a reseller website for specifically American soda.
Oh, that's because Mountain Dew is banned in a lot of places because it causes health issues like maybe cancer and also migraines.
Fun.
Yeah.
Fun things to learn about Mountain Dew.
Yeah, now that I think about it, they probably don't have that.
That makes sense.
Interesting. So, yeah, she nurses him maybe on a mountain, maybe in a cave. There's a lot of conflicting things here in this paragraph, but
yeah.
most importantly, she dies and he skins her and makes her into
as you do to your mother.
Yeah, things to do when your mom dies, clearly.
So it says that was in honor of her when she died. That's actually much more normal than what Rick said, which was that he slaughtered her and then made her into a shield. I'm actually fine with that. What is going on in the Wikipedia page here?
I mean, who knows? Maybe there's multiple versions. Maybe there's a version
probably
where he just slaughters her, because that sounds very Zeus to me. Just like, just kill my mom, make her into a shield of some kind. Also, there's a constellation of her.
Oh, nice.
It's a goat. There's a goat constellation. Capra is what it's called. The she-goat, which is not to be confused with Capricorn.
The same shit.
Yeah. Good job, Rick. You took exactly what they had here and you ran with it. That's Amalthea. Cool.
Can I pose a question about how we feel she's being used in this story? Like, do we think that she's actually sent by Zeus, like Thalia says?
That is a very interesting thing. She has to be, right? Like, I don't know. If Thalia believes that, I kind of believe her.
Do we think Zeus cares about Thalia? Or maybe he's like, this is my child. This could be a child of a prophecy. I want to kill her. And so he's sending her into these terrible deaths. Like Luke is thinking.
He bothered to turn her into a tree.
He did.
My thing is
instead of saving her.
Rereading it like recently, I was thinking about this because I was like, I mean, there's no way that like they want to break Hal out of his prison. Like the way he's describing it and stuff, it seems like super harsh. So I don't know. I don't feel like there was an intention here to like do good by the gods.
I think that the gods don't care if their children are traumatized. It seems like, to me, it's like, well, if I put them in the fucked up murder house, either they'll die or they'll like start fulfilling prophecies and be cool. And either way is fine with me, because I'm a god. like your small prepubescent children have to prove that they're worthy of you as their parent.
I do like that it is Amalthea leading them to the Aegis, though.
Yes,
like,
that actually makes sense to me too. Yeah. So in my brain, Zeus is like, I will send them to fucked up murder house, and either she's gonna prove herself a great hero and get a cool shield, or she'll die a horrible death. And either way is fine, because I'm Zeus.
And if she dies a horrible death, then he can avoid the prophecy. So like, it's like, whatever.
So it's almost like the other gods are like, hey Zeus, what gives? And he's like, okay, so I'm gonna just send her in there as a compromise.
Oh god.
She'll probably die.
There you go.
That's good enough, right?
I think that makes sense. I think that's exactly what Zeus is doing here. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right, because we don't see any evidence of, like, we know that they were being chased by a bajillion monsters by the end, right?
Yeah, it was all supposed to be like Hades monsters, because Hades is mad.
We don't see any evidence of that quite yet.
No? I mean,
just normal, the hell of being a demigod by yourself as a small child.
So I could totally see this being a test. That's a good thought. That's because my other option was that like Amalthea is doing things of her own volition, and like what purpose could she possibly have to be leading Thalia to Luke unless she's like, you know, Thalia's in trouble.
I mean,
she is a mama, you know.
I'm like, she would protect Zeus's kid even if Zeus won't protect Zeus's kid. So that was
if Zeus's intention is in here, it's a test. If Amalthea's intention is here, then I would say it's like, maybe
Luke does give us his own interpretation, which is that it could be that she hates Zeus's children because he did turn her into a shield. I don't think so, though. Now that we know that he probably didn't murder her in cold blood.
Probably. Maybe she was dying anyway, and it was a mercy kill.
Yeah,
Who knows?
It's probably fine.
Yeah. Totally fine. Yeah. Because, like, she led them to Luke and Annabeth and Thalia. The whole gang got together because of this ghost. So pretty important shit.
All right. Tell me about these fucked up horse dogs or whatever they are.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about them. They're only on the Theoi page. Like, yeah.
One of them deep cuts. Love it.
Yeah.
One of them super deep cuts. Rick just started running out of mythology things, so he's like, let's go to medieval bestiaries, I guess, because that's what this picture is.
Yeah.
It's also, okay, so the name is like Lucrocrotus on here. So I want to know, I'm also confused what's happening name-wise based on like Rick's version and this version. You sure do.
How do you spell it in Greek? Hold on.
Oh, I sent the link.
Oh, amazing.
Now I have to like pull up my actual book and see how it was spelled in there, because I never decided how I wanted to pronounce that. I was just like, I'll just skim over that one. That sounds hard.
Yeah, they're like...
It's LeukrokOtai on Theoi.
Oh, double
I'm
T.
trying to find page book too.
Double T.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Some weird shit.
That's not Greek or Latin.
Yeah, so Rick has it as Lucrota, or what's the... That's one. How is it when it's two? It's like Lucrote, I think? Did he make it more Greek?
He made it Latin.
Latin?
Of course.
A-E is Latin. Lucrotas would be Greek.
Yeah.
Or A with the long E.
Yeah, this does say the Lucrotas. Lucrocotus. There we go. Okay, so we can say who wrote these things, and it's from some historian. This guy can pronounce your name. Alien, Pliny the Elder, fun thing.
Oh, it has an unbroken ridge of jaw, so one...
Yeah, like, you got the description very, very on point. Body of a stag, neck of a lion, cloven hooves, wide mouth with a sharp, bony ridge in place of...
The way that Rick interpreted that to them making like this horrifying clacking sound every time they're coming for you, I love that. That's so fun. Really using the material to its strongest interpretation.
Gotta love
it's really the worst part of them to me.
Yeah. Truly horrifying.
And they can imitate the voices of men. Although where did this? Specifically, wait, no, that's a hyena. Okay.
Well, that's sort of my theory, I think, is what happened was the Romans heard stories of / encountered hyenas, and were like, oh my god.
That's the most fucked up little guy I've ever seen.
I feel like all these guys writing like their little bestiaries and stuff like Pliny are like, well, we gotta spice it up with some mythic creatures. That's also where they've got like that, have you done the ant story yet?
Yeah.
Oh, what are they called?
Myrmidons.
Mermaids.
Yeah.
Not the Myrmidons. Those are the Achilles people.
I do confuse those though.
Understandable. Myrmidons, like, that literally means the people from ants. It's the same like root word.
Exactly.
But the Mermaids are also in like all of these bestiaries, because like someone wrote something about them, and everyone was like, "Whoa, crazy critter!"
Giant ants, we love it.
Giant ants that dig up gold.
Pretty cool. I will regurgitate that without criticism.
Totally sounds real.
They were definitely not marmots. Yeah, so it's interesting though. So I think the name people think comes from... Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Who wrote that? Korokota.
Yeah, there's like a few different spellings.
I would guess it actually comes from probably a non-Indo-European word, like some actual indigenous word for hyena. And then they were like, that sounds sort of like you're saying, like Lukos, which means white, and then like their other, like, and then Krokotos, which means yellow, and I guess if that's a hyena, they have like kind of yellowish fur, so they were like, yeah, that's definitely what that name means. Also, Lukos, spelled Lukos, is wolf in Greek, so
okay,
they were like, checks out.
So there is in fact a type of hyena called a crocuta. So
well,
there you go.
Yeah, so there's probably a little bit of mishmash here of people being like, that's my favorite is, again, this is sort of how the mermaid situation happened, where they heard the local word and they were like, that sounds similar to one of our words that means something,
Yeah.
It must be the same word.
Fun things. And it's, so the name here means saffron color or dog wolf.
Interesting. Yeah.
Even though there's neither dog or wolf on this animal.
That double T tells me that's not what that actually comes from, though. No way.
Yeah.
The only double T's in Greek are from like pre-indigenous Greek languages, like Athene, like Atana, originally like Athens, and originally Thalassa, which is their word of the sea, was Thalata with 2 T's. That's it though. So what tells me it's either an indigenous pre-Greek from like some indigenous pre-Greek language, or more likely from a non-Greek or Roman African dialect.
This is why I'm glad you're here to tell us that.
Just to put on my little tinfoil hat, I don't actually know enough to definitively say anything about that, but it's sus.
You know more than we would have figured out here. We would have just been like, that's a fucked up little guy. Next thing.
That's my favorite fun fact, though. It's like Atana, that's the name of like the Acropolis rock, and people think actually instead of Athens named after Athena, they actually think it's the opposite.
Ooh, cool.
Mm-hmm. You heard it here first, probably. I don't know.
I did.
Maybe. Who knows? And then I'll go to the last thing, which I pulled up because of the character's name, and that's mostly it. But hey, there's also some fucked up shit, as there tends to be in mythology. So, this person's name is not Halcyon, but it's also Halcyon, so yeah. Alcyone name? Yeah.
If it's a hard C, probably.
Alcyone? Okay. Well, this is, yeah, okay. Yeah, there's the Greek stuff. I can kind of read those ish. Yeah. They incurred the wrath of Zeus for hubris. As
romantic
one does.
Hubris.
Romantic hubris.
Huh.
What the fuck did you guys do? They got married, called each other Zeus and Hera. God damn it. That was the worst possible thing you could have done. Also, why would you want to be them?
Yeah, their marriage is not ideal.
So, we kill the guy, Ceyx, with the thunderbolt at sea. And then, our god of dreams, Morpheus, disguises as him, appears to the wife, Alcyone, to tell her of his fate, and then she throws herself to sea. And then they're changed into the birds, the Halcyon birds. Out of compassion, it says, sure. I thought you guys were punished. Whatever. This is some bullshit. But maybe it's where we get the name Halcyon in the story, because, yeah. Okay, so what does the name mean? We do have there's a lot of things. A lot of things here.
You send me the link to that one also. I'm not sure which one.
I'll just resend it in the chat here. Or
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so
no, that's not what
yeah, it's like the first part means brine, sea, or salt. Second
I
part
love how Wikipedia is like,
I
or
can see.
dubiously. How dubiously.
Dubiously.
But but a sea bird with a mournful song. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening here.
I was hoping there would be some relationship with like prophecies, but not really. Mostly just tragedy, which is
yeah. I was like, this is just tragedy. It's about tragedy. But like, I mean, the prophecy thing makes sense because it's a precursor to all the other stuff that happens to Luke. So we gotta have some prophecy and some foreshadowing for Luke to know, hey, you're gonna maybe die a horrible death. But it's okay, you're gonna change some shit, so it's fine. Don't worry about it. Even though he's been told that his entire life by his mother, so like...
Yeah, prophecies have not worked out for Luke for his entire life.
I feel like there could have been even more about comparing Halcyon to his mom, honestly, in this story.
Yeah, that seems like kind of an oversight now that I think about it, but...
Yeah, I always found it fascinating how the like Halcyon days means like peaceful days, and like how this is like, so, like theoretically they're like coming in to seek sanctuary with Hal, and it's supposed to be peaceful according to like his name.
Yeah.
And instead it's this.
Yeah, instead it's this.
Well, kind of sucks.
I feel like you could make it like about the dangers of comparing yourself to the gods or thinking you're on their level, and that's sort of how Apollo sees what Halcyon did in a way.
Yeah.
And also, if you think that Luke's fatal flaw is hubris, that's in this story.
Is Luke's fatal flaw hubris?
It's a good question.
Luke's flaw, okay. So Halcyon is punished for going against the will of the gods. And then Luke encourages him, like, actually, we have to fight against your fate. It's no good the way that it is. And he's like, okay, actually, you're right. I'll die a horrible death and you guys can escape and I'll do something good for once in my life. And the lesson that Luke takes from this is that we have to fight the will of the gods, when I think the lesson that Halcyon kind of wanted him to learn was, I don't know what the lesson of his little diary was. It's like,
think your choices through.
Yeah, you gotta really think things through sometimes.
You gotta really journal about it sometimes, you know?
Mm-hmm,
Really.
My favorite part is, like, he makes him promise something at the end, something vague, but it's clearly not what Luke takes away from it, because Luke walks away being like, I promise to fight back, Hal, while at the end he's like, for Apollo, and you're like, that is not what he wanted you to do.
Wait. My brain's like putting pieces together. He made another promise, and he was given the knife. So are we doubly cursing this blade because he broke another promise?
I think this blade is super fucking cursed from the moment the little girl gave it to this guy.
Yeah.
Like, just so fucking cursed.
I imagine it didn't even start with her. That knife has been passed on for centuries.
You know what, Rick? Where's our short story about, like, where this blade just, like, comes from, but just, like, even further back? Like, you know?
I need the etymology of this blade.
I'm trying to think if there's any, like, important knives.
Greek mythology knife.
So
Spartan women used to carry knives. That was a thing. And they were supposed to use them to defend themselves.
Like a hat pin.
Yeah, like, it was like a thing where, like, apparently if any of the men, like, tried to mess with them, they were supposed to cut their face so everyone knew.
Hell yeah, that's badass. I think we should make a celestial bronze hat pin, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I don't know if you guys know, like, but, like, women started to have really long, sharp hat pins for that same purpose. And guys were like, what the fuck is this? Can you stop? Why are they so long and sharp?
Why not?
Yeah, we love that.
It's for fashion, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Honestly, I would love to bring back hat pins. Would love that. Would love to bring ceremonial daggers back too. Love that.
Oh, absolutely.
When this happened in the story, I was like, you're gonna give your knife to the 7-year-old when you, Luke Castellan, do not have another celestial bronze weapon on you. I was like, are you sure? Are you sure, man?
He's got a golf club.
It is not a celestial bronze golf club, and he doesn't have it anymore. It got squished in the trapdoor thing.
Right.
I didn't think about that at all. That's so funny.
It's a really questionable decision.
I mean, he says he's more of a sword guy, so maybe he's like, nah, I'm just gonna... My question is, where did he get his first sword from?
Yeah.
He mentions he has one, and then he's like, oh, it's gone now, though. So I'm like, where did you get that from, though, Luke?
I just have to assume that every time they get something, it's from doing, like, a fucked up quest like this.
Yeah. Beyond that, I was also thinking, like, how does he know all of the terminology? Like, he already knows everything.
Yeah.
That's true, too. Well, his mom did do prophecies and shit. Like,
his mom did prophecies. She had all the little plushies, so she would be like, so Luke, this is Medusa, and this is Chimera.
I was thinking more like knowing that you're a half-blood, and Thalia knows that she's the daughter of Zeus, and...
Well, I think that their parents both told them, they definitely knew what the deal was.
Their parents both knew who they were fucking, so...
Yes, that helps. True. And they don't know certain things, like they don't know what the mist is, even though they know it from experience.
Just like, people don't know things. I don't know why, but like, they don't notice shit. It's fine.
I don't know. Well, this is where I come back to like the TV show lore, where I'm like, I wonder if they're answering this a little bit, because if like Hermes has been hanging out with them the whole time. Because I feel like the show kind of implies that he tried to make a go of actually just like being around.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
maybe.
I've been trying to figure out if the show meant like that he stuck around at post May, or if that's what like led to May.
Yeah.
Well, in the books, what led to May was like, you know, she won out. Or do you mean like to post her decision to do the thing, or pre her decision?
Yeah.
Thoughts are happening. Do we want to get into this diary?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've already talked about quite a bit, so that'll help.
We have.
We're trying to speed read this shit because it is like 60 fucking pages.
Yeah, it's so fucking long. Why?
It needed to be this long. I appreciate it. It's just not good for our format.
Yeah, no. But hey, it's Luke. We're talking about Luke. He's a very special boy. We got some backstory, but it's not important right now. Him and Thalia, they're in Richmond. Shout out to our Richmond peeps.
Hell yeah, I was so excited. We know people there. I've been there now. Yeah.
Fun times.
They do have little brick townhouses. You're right, Luke.
And a statue of Robert E. Lee.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do.
It's Virginia, yeah. Never mind.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said that, like, in disbelief. I'm sure.
I don't know, man. So we're following a goat. Luke's like, yeah, she seems to keep wanting to follow this goat. I don't know why. Don't like it.
Yeah, until this moment, she has not explained why they are following this goat, which is very funny also.
Just listen to your little punk girl.
Yeah,
she knows things. I just love how endeared he is to her. He's just like, I can't say no to Thalia. I can't. Like, whatever.
Yeah. Which is why reading
besties.
this and then immediately going into the Titan's Curse was like the most upsetting decision.
Yeah, sounds like it. Small backstory about Thalia and how fucked up that situation was for her and her mom and dad.
So she followed Almanthea before and got led to Luke, and so that's why she trusts this so much. And Luke's like, there was kind of a dragon's cave there. Maybe this isn't a good thing.
I want that short story. Tell me about how they met, though.
We'll just progressively go, like, back a little bit further every time. Like, let me tell you about this thing that happened.
Exactly. I want to know the things.
Maybe that's where they got the weapons or something. Maybe it's the Dragon's Cave.
Oh, yeah.
Hoarding stuff. Okay, we found it. We found it in the text.
Dragons do hoard shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're really putting this together.
Maybe it works.
Wait, have we met now? I do enjoy the fact that it seems like Rick wrote this post coming up with the idea of the lost hero at the very least.
Mm-hmm. Well, there are definitely things that hint towards what we're about to get.
Yeah, certainly they do.
At least one thing that I can think of that I don't know if we can even mention.
Probably not.
It's a mystery.
But it's not important right now. Yeah, Luke's like, it's really fucked up to be a demigod. I have no friends, just Thalia.
They're homeless, and the oldest of them is 14. Deeply fucked up.
12 and 14, they're just chilling on the streets, and monsters come to try to kill them constantly. Like, the fuck? The fuck. But we get closer to the scope. Yeah.
I'm so curious about these mortals that Luke says that he had tried to befriend in the past, though, when he's talking about how it's just him and Thalia on the road.
He's so
Give me that depressing story of him trying to make a friend and then being like, what?
Okay, no, but
What's
they
happening?
aren't like that, which is interesting to me, because that is what, like, middle schoolers are like, where you're like, oh, actually, my parents are this regular person and a god, and I'm a demigod, and they get special powers from that, and there are monsters everywhere. And they're like, oh, yeah, cool, interesting. Yeah, me too, actually. Like, that is exactly the middle school thing.
I mean, that's how it starts, but then they get attacked by a monster, and then this, like, normal kid is like, the fuck, man? And runs away. And then Luke has no friends anymore. So, I don't know. I want those fucked up short stories. Tell me about Luke trying to make a friend.
Maybe because I was not a liar in middle school. Oh man, I would have been wow, that's wild. Show me where. At this point, I was still high-key trying to get the Tooth Fairy to give me a magic wand, though, so I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would
you believe some weird shit in middle school?
So, my mom used to write us letters that she left under our pillow with the Tooth Fairy, so I had a correspondence with her for a while.
I also did that, yes.
You had pen pals?
With my mother, apparently.
Yeah. It was also my mom, but she typed them and did it in like a really small font and cut them out so they were like little tiny messages. It was
That's such a good idea. Oh man. Okay, I'm taking notes for my kid because I'm absolutely doing that. No, I never clocked that the Tooth Fairy, Santa, and the Easter Bunny all had the same handwriting though. Which is my favorite thing because apparently my mom would like write it with her left hand and put so much effort into it,
Aww.
as though like we as children would recognize her handwriting. I love that. But yeah, I don't know, because the 239, we had a correspondence, so I was like, nah, she's real, man.
Mm-hmm.
She's real. The rest of them, I don't know, but her, we have a bond.
That's interesting to me. I had the exact same thing. Like, I was like, no, Santa, that's made up shit. The Tooth Fairy, that's where it's at.
That makes complete sense.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I love this lore for both of you.
I honestly don't even remember why I figured it out. I don't. But yeah, anyway. So if I were meeting Luke Castellan, I'd be like, yo, okay, let's do this. Take me to Narnia. I'm ready. Training my whole life for this.
And he'd be like, Narnia? What's that?
Well, doesn't he
I don't have
reference,
time
like,
to read
Gone with
books.
the
I'm
Wind
homeless.
At one point?
Does he reference Gone with the Wind?
Weirdest points of reference.
Oh my god! You can see the Rick Civil War buff.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Or no, maybe May's favorite book is Gone with the Wind. Who's to say?
Maybe he watched the movie.
Wow, Luke watched movies, Annabeth didn't. Can't believe this.
That is the most questionable thing about this show for me. I'm like, why doesn't she know what Disney is? I'm so confused.
She lived with him till she was 7?
Yeah.
Come
He
on.
never showed her a single movie.
Not a one.
Maybe it was just the shorts collection. I don't know.
She's like, I've only seen short films. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I still like my theory, which is that Frederick Chase only ever watched really like boring for kids war movies.
Yeah.
Yes. No,
and
I
like
agree
documentaries.
With that.
Like she watched movies, she just didn't realize they were.
I think that's canon. That makes sense.
It's like, okay, like we could watch a Disney movie, but how about this like 4-hour-long documentary about the fall of the Roman Empire? How about that?
And that's
very
why she
in
knows
character.
shit.
No wonder she's like that.
So this goat has some weird udders. We've kind of talked about that. Press here for ice.
That is, I think, one of Rick's best jokes.
Yeah.
Literally, yes. Best.
I have a tier
joke.
ranking of best Rick Riordan jokes, and I think it's one of the highest ones. Yeah,
Absolutely agreed.
Again, where does the ice come out?
the udder. I think it's like, you know, those like little tiny, like, you know what I'm talking, like the small, like little crispy. You know what I'm talking about? The ones you get in like soda fountains.
Imagining this.
You know the ones where it's like little tubey, they're like this big, they're like pellets basically. Like the size of, you know what I'm talking about? Like smaller than a dime, like little pellets of ice that are like very crunchy.
Yeah.
They're like basically slush.
Mm-hmm.
The Sonic ice cubes.
Exactly.
Those ones. That's,
Yeah,
that could come out of an
sense.
udder.
That makes sense.
This sounds
I don't
so
think it would be pleasant for the goat very much.
No.
No.
But she's magic, so don't worry.
But neither
about
would having Diet Mountain Dew inside you forever. Imagine that for a moment.
The health complications. Imagine that.
Oh, no wonder Zeus Mercy killed her to make her a shield.
One of the teats does have nectar in it, and I was like, y'all really should have filled up on some of that shit.
Seriously?
Get those canteens out. Yeah.
What's up with this, guys? You should have, like, been, hey, can we just, like, get some of these things for a minute? Like, we just want some water, you know? Nectar. Also, maybe some Pepsi.
You know, just cause.
I love that Rick's a Pepsi girly.
He used to be a Diet Coke girly
Maybe he
for
switched.
Dionysus. He did switch. I wonder why. Like, what's going on here?
What's the lore?
Okay, so we're at this monument. It's a fucking automaton again.
Yeah,
we can't.
I think
I love
all of
that
them are.
Yeah, I love that. Like, there's just this lore that every single statue is actually alive. I love that. I love putting that in your children's books.
Yeah, not horrifying at all.
I want to know how it happened. Like, how did Daedalus make all of? Like, did he just replace all of the sculptures with automatons? Did he?
You know
put
what?
something
Maybe
in them to make them automatons?
Wasn't it that thing where a lot of the like Civil War statues were all manufactured by the same place, and then just would like sell them to both northern and southern towns, being like, a soldier from your side, yes.
Oh my god.
Do you remember reading about that when people were, a lot of people were taking down some of the Confederate soldier statues in like random towns in the South, and people were like, these aren't even like real statues. They were all manufactured by the same people that also sold them to northern towns as Union soldiers.
That is such a grift. I love that.
I
don't love it, but
I mean, it's a grift, but like I'm just imagining that being Daedalus just being like, haha, more sleeper agents.
God damn it. It definitely was him.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so we're gonna go to creepy Gone with the Wind house. It's fine. Everything is fine. So Luke has to do his thing. We gotta talk about Luke's powers.
Yeah, Raye. How did you react to that? I reacted when I first read this story.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was like, I wanted him to still have to use lockpicks, which is weird because normally I want demigods to have more godly powers. I want them to, I want to like buff the other demigods when the big three ones are so powerful. I'm like, the rest of them should get more magic. But I'm like, this is such a tactile skill that I just want it to be something that he's supernaturally good at, not just he puts his hand over it and then like magic tumbler moving. But yeah, who knew he could do that?
I feel like if he were supernaturally good at it, he would be able to brush it off as like, I'm just really good at this, like he does throughout this story with like, oh, no, that's not my dad, that's just fate, that's just chance, or not fate, but no, that's chance, that just happened to happen that way. But the fact that he has to actually summon a power, he can't.
Right, and the fact that he hates it is so interesting also. Like, no wonder we didn't know Luke could do that. He literally hates doing that. Which, it's so useful. So just the fact that it reminds him of his dad. Fucked up.
Yeah.
I love it. That's why he doesn't use it very much. It's like, nope. Yeah, he's like hating on Hermes and how... Just like throwaway lines about his mom's sanity. Just fun things.
Yeah.
And then we go into creepy house. There's lots of celestial bronze all over the place. And then, okay, is this the first time we find out that Thalia's spear can turn into something? Because I don't remember if that was from
I think it's a throwaway reference in Titan's Curse, I feel like, where she summons it.
Okay, because I don't remember that either.
Yeah, but it's a mace canister? She flicks it, and then it's a full-on spear. We gotta love that.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I love how they were like, we're gonna give Percy a pen. What do we give Thalia? Mace.
It does
fit we need
her whole vibe.
At some point we need to get into like analyzing each of the items that they turn back into and be like, why this item for this character?
I don't know. Why was the sword pen hairpin before? Why did it become a pen now instead?
Maybe it was a hat pin at one point. Maybe
I'd like to believe.
It transitioned.
And then it was just like, I guess I'm just gonna be a fucking pen now. Yeah. Like, that's cool.
Pen, it's folk etymology, that's...
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
It's a pen because Percy's the most regular boy on the world.
The most regular boy. Alright, we got lots of human bones in here, and hey look, the door, it slammed. We're trapped, and the windows have killer drapes.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is happening?
My favorite thing going forward to keep in mind with this story is that Rick made all of this up. Like, none of this comes from mythology. This is all from his brain. He made all of these decisions. Nothing told him to do this. He made these choices.
Rick should be a horror writer. Like, seriously.
Honestly.
He could do it.
Fingers crossed for Wrath of the Triple Goddess. I really want it to be like a haunted house kind of thing.
I want these curtains to come back.
Yes, they should.
It does feel like some shit that would happen. You're like, well, I'm trapped in a place and I can't escape because I guess the curtains are alive. That doesn't feel too divorced from mythology to me. Just the most fucked up thing possible.
Yep. Yeah. We have just enough nectar to heal Thalia from these, like, acidy curtains.
Yeah, the curtains are also acid. Not ideal.
And then we hear the clack. Terrifying! Glowing red eyes, clacking, and then Halcyon's voice. Yes, this way. Fucking creepy. I Hate it. I hate it. So we're going upstairs. We want to run. It's probably a trap, but yeah.
Especially because the things are also repeating what he says. You know, he's like, hurry from upstairs, and then they're like, hurry, hurry. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't like
Deeply
it.
upsetting.
Don't like it. The man's voice is coming from like right next to you, but the man is upstairs. Don't like it.
Yeah, it's very spooky.
And then everything is totally fine, you know? Like we're in the creepy place, and then it's all normal. We're in a normal ass room with a totally normal Einstein man who has
wearing snakeskin boots.
Yeah, he's just wearing snakeskin. Totally fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
He's got his own little apartment up here.
With a monster. Right over there.
Right over there in the cage. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're actually in the cage. This is all a trap. Yay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The backstory on Hal is absolutely wild that he gives.
Mm-hmm.
Like, every item of this, I can't stress enough. None of this Rick had to do. He did all of it himself.
Also in universe, hey Apollo? What is
know.
going on in your brain?
I know. We
What
talked
the
about this
fuck?
so much with Trials of Apollo, where we'd be like, wow, Apollo. But remember Hal?
That's the problem with this story, is that nothing in here is ever brought up again.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm like, this is so deeply fucked up. Rick, why did you do this? And never talk about it. Ever.
I know. It's like not even shoved in it's shoved in the like Heroes of Olympus volume too. It's not even like, oh man, it's not even in the original one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what's wrong with Hal? He's a son of Apollo. He has the gift of prophecy, and if he uses it, bad shit happens. Like, he told a young girl that she was gonna die, and she survived because he told her. So,
And apparently that was bad, so
this feels kind of Asclepius to me. That's also a child of Apollo, so. And he's the guy who literally brought people back from the dead. The gods were like, no, I'm gonna kill you now. Literally, like, I think he gets killed by Zeus, and then Apollo brings him back or something. God.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. This is kind of an interesting thing where that seems to be the biggest taboo in, like, Greek mythology. That one thing is enough to really get you. And I think that's in Percy Jackson, too. Like, that sort of feels like the Daedalus situation a little bit. Where it's like, and it's Sisyphus too. That's another myth where he's trying to death. He gets like extreme punishment for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's that and like serving the gods your children. Too.
Yeah.
Eating your children.
Don't eat people. Don't cheat death. And then
don't call yourself Hera and Zeus.
Yeah.
Also, don't kill your father, I guess. But whatever.
That was just that one guy. Everybody else is allowed to kill their dad.
Everybody else does to me though, because it's like usually if someone tried to change someone's fate, it would just lead them back to their fate in Greek mythology,
right?
And then the idea that he could step in and actually change something.
I mean, I wonder if that's his real thing. Like, it's not the gift of prophecy. Like, this guy seems to have actually been gifted power to change fate.
That's a wild power to be born with in this world.
I know. Like,
you had the chance to change your fate. Would you?
That's kind of the thing, though. Like, that sort of explains the punishment to me, where they're not just like, oh, well, he can see the future. Like, he actually has power over it, which, like, over and over and over again we see in these books is, like, it does not exist in this world.
Yeah.
Like, not even the
path
gods
you
have
take
that
to, it's like Kung Fu Panda, where the thing that you do to try to escape your fate is the thing that will lead you to it.
Well, let's remember he's not an oracle.
He's not an oracle, so
I guess maybe it's only oracle powers that are like, you tell them the future, then they make that thing happen.
Yeah.
Anyways, so maybe they realize this guy can change fate, and they're like, that is too powerful. We have to put him in a box. But also, we'll make the box hell just cause.
Just cause, you know?
It's that like really
literally
crazy line where it's just like, it's a reminder that every time I use my voice, it'll put people in danger.
What the fuck? Yeah, so for people who haven't read this, Hal can only speak through these fucked up demon dog things, and is entirely mute otherwise. And he has to wear the skin of Python to remind him that he is not an Oracle of Delphi, excuse me. And yeah, the demigods are lured here, and then the Lucrote eat them, and then he eats their rations.
Yeah. Which again, like, getting back to the skinning thing, wild to me. Like, we've got the goat that Zeus skins for the shield on one side of the story, and then, like, which is sort of like the origin of Zeus, and then, like, the Python story is like the origin of Apollo, and I guess he skinned Python.
Mm-hmm.
And just sort of has that lying around.
And apparently that is not honorable. You don't want to have that.
Well, Python's sort of like the old, like the primordial enemy of Apollo.
Yeah, he used to live in Delphi. Yeah.
It's probably a very big snake, seeing as they made 3 suits out of it.
Oh, yeah. There's a theory that
like
that's
dragon.
like, like a dragon. He's sort of like the Indo-European dragon-slaying myth in Greek mythology. Although also Bellerophon, so there's 2 of them. But that's also why the oracle's called the Pythia. It's like Python.
Yeah, we talked about that a few episodes ago.
Because
I was
of our
like,
girl
I already
Rachel.
talked about oracles. I gotta talk about the Pythia specifically. Yeah,
Love her. Love all.
Especially Rachel.
I'm
so
thinking
glad
about
you
this
talked about
actually. Luca's not thinking about May a lot when talking to Hall, which is interesting to me. Which I feel like he should be.
I agree.
Seriously.
Like more.
Like, does he not? I mean, maybe he doesn't know the full story for reasons, but like, he knows that his mom spouts the future about his terrible fate, so you would think he would relate that to this a little bit. I don't know.
I think, like, even when he brings her up, it's very shortly in this. I think that he is actively trying not to think about her. Maybe that's my explanation for why it's like this.
Maybe he's blocked it out, like, very much. Just blocked out his childhood. Deeply fucked up. But Halcyon is an old demigod. Isn't that fun?
What does he say? He's ancient, like 60 at least.
Good joke. Amazing. But yeah, we're friends now. He's Hal, and hey, like, sadly he's gonna like survive on your rations.
Yeah.
So like the Snickers bars that you just have in your bag, he's gonna eat them after these monsters kill you at sunset.
Yeah, and mostly he just wants to talk and hang out because he's really fucking lonely. And Luke's like, we gotta do something to get out of here. And he's like, Hal is dealing with some learned helplessness here.
Yeah, I mean, we have no idea how old he was when the thing happened, when he saved this girl.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm also wondering if he has like a stunted, development anyway.
Yeah, how long you been, my dude?
I mean, think about how many people he's had to watch die, right? It's like right in front of him. And like, approximately every week, if he's still alive, that's a lot.
Yeah, no matter how old he was at the time, he's gotta be like deeply fucked mentally.
Like, even if you're 30 times 52, that's a lot. That's a lot of people.
I mean, my brain is also going to like, well, demigods are all like kids.
Yeah.
So like,
not just people, kids.
The assumption here is that, like, also, what if this thing happened to him when he was a kid, too? And then...
He does talk about, like, a little girl. I'm assuming... My thought is, like, youngest would be, like, late teens, like 18 or something.
Yeah.
But that is, like, if he spent his developmental years here, that would also be pretty bad.
Well, this is his childhood home.
From.
Yeah. Like, what if he had to watch his mom die, too? Who knows? Or whichever mortal parent it was. The monsters, maybe they killed them.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is just so fucked up. I'm just making it more fucked up. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's the implications, right? Like, you really think through, like, okay, so practically speaking, what is this man doing with his time?
He's going on Google on the computer.
He has access to the internet.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
don't know how wild it is that they're just able to like Google things in this story.
Because no monsters are gonna come because the monster's already here. So like, who cares? This is the one time we
gave
use
him
technology.
A computer? Because it can't have been there from the beginning.
So the gods will provide him with like entertainment items.
Not food. Prison? He has to get that from children.
Yes, not food. But entertainment items are allowed. He can have a computer.
And books.
And books. Lots of books.
Apparently so you're just like playing a lot of Sims, actually.
I love that for him.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, is this really that bad a fate? All you do is sit down and play computer games and have the internet. Like, I'm just saying. Do you think?
But you have to watch a child die once a week or so.
I mean, you don't actually have to. You could just like not.
I mean, they're gonna come either way. Like,
I wonder if there's like a really super niche subreddit where someone's like, okay, hypothetically, it's how. Like, oh, hypothetically, if you were in this situation, how would you get out of there?
Sorry, I'm just thinking he makes like an "Am I the asshole" post.
Like, all right, guys, give me ideas. I'm gonna try some stuff.
Am I the asshole for not having killed myself 20 years ago? Sorry.
Oh my god. This story is just so fucked, and we're only halfway through. Okay. So, yeah, he has to speak through the creatures, but Luke and Thalia are just like, we don't want these staring at us. We have, like, many hours to prepare for our death or not. Can we just get them away and you can type on the computer? We got one. Let's do it.
Yeah, they're like, I don't want to talk in front of the monsters. And he's like, what? Come on. And they're like, no, get rid of those.
Reading your thoughts and filtering everything you say. What?
So yeah, he's got lots of books. They can read anything except for his special diary. Do not touch that. Okay, I like this line where Luke's like, we could order pizza and watch the monsters eat the delivery guy. I feel like that's what Hal did. I feel like this is what he would have done. He
definitely got that idea on Reddit. That is something a Redditor would comment.
Yeah, min-max your hell prison.
I would be that delivery guy back when I delivered pizza.
I think they'd stop delivering to you if their delivery people didn't come back.
Then you move on.
And then you go somewhere else.
Yeah, there's a lot of pizza around, I guess. Where are they? Yeah, there's pizza. It's not even good pizza. We're outside the pizza belt. It's fine.
Like, you get a bunch of pizzas at once.
Yeah.
And then, like, you put him in the fridge, whatever. He's got a kitchen.
He can't leave his room, though. If he can't go down to the front door, I don't know if our plan's actually gonna work.
No, they have to come in.
Would you go inside some weird guy's house as a pizza delivery guy, Charlie?
Me personally, because I have boundaries. Maybe some other people would. Who knows? Maybe you caught a demigod delivery guy. I don't know.
Okay, if he can make them leave, and if they only eat demigods, maybe he can make the monsters get him the pizzas for the front door.
Well, they have human voices, so they can be like, come in.
Yeah, that's true. I hate that. That's horrifying also.
So if you're a pizza delivery person, you get to this door, it's locked at first, and then you just hear disembodied voices scattered throughout going, come in. What are we doing in this situation?
I mean, it's a horror movie. Obviously, these people are not genre savvy.
I'm definitely leaving the pizza on the stoop and running away.
Yeah.
Maybe
if no one's there to pay for it, maybe you don't even leave the pizza. Maybe that's my pizza now.
Actually, depends how big the tip is. You know, if it's like a huge order, I'd be like, okay, come on.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe the monsters can eat some pizza, and that'll like be fine for them.
Man, I really want pizza now.
You're welcome.
We didn't eat breakfast, so
I'm going to IHOP after this.
Nice.
Okay, so we go through like all the things that we have handy. There's a bathroom. There's the computer. Also, we got to talk about the goat. We got to tell Hal about this wonderful goat with like Pepsi and Diet Mountain Dew that led us here. He's like, I thought you came because of treasure, not because of a goat.
How do people know treasure? Okay. So now that I'm thinking about it, maybe other demigods die here because they come like for greed, like their intentions are impure. They're wanting whatever this legendary item is that Hal doesn't even know what it is. How do people hear about this? But because
on the earth, I'm sorry, that was a joke that doesn't make sense yet for y'all.
But Luke and Thalia came here with different intentions, which is maybe why it works out for them. like, thematically.
We love
you know
a
what I mean?
morality story. Yeah. You only get to live if you're following a goat for some reason and not seeking your side quest treasure.
Right. They're
Despite
following the will of
fact
the gods.
that
you
they're
know?
definitely still wanting this side quest treasure as soon as they find out about it.
Yeah, true. But they didn't come here to seek it. It's because you don't want it. That's why you get it. I don't know, something. Morality.
That sounds like a morality story to me. So, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the moral of this story is the gods are, like, so messed up. Like, I don't know. Like,
Which is why Luke ends up the way he does.
Literally, it makes so much fucking sense why Luke is so fucked up based on this story.
Yeah, if we're dealing with shit like this on a regular basis, I wouldn't be happy either.
He's just met the one person with, like, the power to actually change fate and destiny, and then the gods did this to him, and he's just like, wow. Wow.
Awful.
Big
we talked about, when we talked about this story, we talked about how, like, it seems like Luke thought of the gods as just, like, neglectful for the most part until meeting Hal.
And then he's like, wow, you actively fucked this guy over in a way that I can't even, like, fathom.
Yeah.
They are evil people. Based on this. So we got a safe. Luke's gonna trip the trap, you know. There's two traps. There's if you touch it, you turn to ash, I guess. But then there's poison if you get through all the way. So
which has never been activated because everyone turned to ash when they touched it.
Yep, we gotta get the poison out.
There are so many death traps in this house. Evil case, evil curtains, and then if you survive all that, you get your ass eaten.
Yay! So they get the treasure. It's a bracelet, and Hal is like, "Yay! You did it! You must be the ones who could like save me. Cool! You're the owner, the true owner of this item that we don't know what it is. It's a bracelet.
Presumably it has to be owned by a child of Zeus, and there haven't been any of those for like 60 years. So like, no wonder he's been in here for a while.
That will probably do it.
Yeah.
Which again, like, when Apollo does this to him, has the pact happened? Yes, because it was in the 1940s. Like, that's just so evil.
Yep.
Damn.
We should totally kill the gods.
I know.
I mean,
we should just totally overthrow Zeus!
I'm just saying. Oh man.
Yeah. Okay, so we don't know what this weapon is, but who knows? Whatever.
It would be nice to have another weapon at this point, but so Thalia's trying so hard to figure that out, and Luke's busy on the internet.
He's Googling shit. He's like, you know what? Hermes is the god of communication. He's got to have power over Google itself, so I can do this. Help me kill Lucrote, and it's like, help me cure leukemia.
I love that so much. He's doing the level of Googling of like Bella Swan when she's like vampire cold ones, and you're like, you're gonna get Budweiser ads, girl. Yeah. At least Luke like prays to his dad and is like, please just make this work out. Like, I can imagine that helping, but
I mean, he left school in 5th grade when he was 9? Like, he hasn't learned Boolean search techniques.
What year is this? Because, like, how long has the internet even existed?
It's definitely existed. Phoebe and I are theoretically the same age as Percy.
So
because we were 12 when the books came out.
I was going to say Percy was 93, so...
Percy's 93?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we're 2 years younger than Percy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because 2005 was 12.
So Luke was born in 1990.
No. 1986.
Okay, and he's 14 now. So it's 2000.
It is 2000.
Y2K. You know what? No one has asked Hermes about Y2K, and that's a missed opportunity, Rick.
Oh my god.
So personal computers have got to be pretty new at that point, you know?
Luke is older than Taylor Swift.
I'm gonna go tell my girlfriend that after I'm done recording.
Luke would be older than Taylor Swift if he hadn't died a horrible death.
Oh my god. Okay. Can't stop laughing. So, what are we gonna do? Hal is gonna use his one ability, which is telling them the future. even though it's a terrible idea. But does he change things by telling them the future?
Right. So his thing is, as long as he doesn't try to change the fate that is prescribed by his powers, it shouldn't be a problem. And he has learned that lesson, and he doesn't tell Luke about his horrible, horrible fate.
He's like, I'm gonna be vague. Okay? So he tells Thalia about all of the things. She's gonna sacrifice herself. She's gonna stand tall and still, alive but sleeping. You'll change again, and then you'll find your family. I don't know what that means, but
honestly, that's pretty clear for a prophecy.
Yeah,
he doesn't even have to rhyme. Great job, dude.
That's why he's cooler than an oracle, you know? Doesn't even have to rhyme. He can just tell you straight.
Yeah, he's too powerful.
Too fucking powerful. Okay, and then he doesn't do Luke yet.
Maybe that's, sorry, I'm tangenting again. Maybe that's why they have to make seers into oracles. Maybe when you, like, pledge yourself to Apollo, that lets them control your prophecy powers. Maybe people who aren't oracles are more powerful, and they have to, like, rein them in.
Yes, but Hal could not have been an oracle, so.
Yeah, so that's why they had to put him in Murder Box.
Murder Box.
They had to make him into a monster.
Hey, this is making, sorry, I can't help comparing this to, like, the Minotaur. Like,
yes. No, you're right.
Yeah, sorry, there's, like, speculative posts on Tumblr that are like, what if they didn't put him in an evil labyrinth and only feed him terrified sacrifices? Maybe he could have just been some guy. And I'm now that I've read this, I'm like 100%. If they had just treated him as like a normal child and raised him, maybe he could have been fine.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Give me the alternate timeline where the Minotaur was just like a dude.
Yeah, just a dude.
Just a
dude. Just a guy. Probably been king. I mean, the Minoans seem to really like bulls, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely would have been
If we
king.
could have, like, thought of that as, like, a blessing, you know? He's like a sacred animal. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
also, like, probably sacrifice bulls and also probably sacrifice humans, so, maybe not.
I was gonna say, what if there's a retelling where it's like the Minotaur becomes king of Crete, and then Theseus still becomes king of Athens, and then they meet, and then it's a love story. Anyway,
a love story. A love story.
I mean,
this is basically the Hades game. Anyway,
yeah. If you've played Hades game, you would know they are in love with each other.
They're absolutely in love.
Interesting.
Just bros being bros.
That might change. Well, knowing how the Minoan Empire ended, I'm like,
don't know about all that.
It's all a little bit of an allegory, and if it is, that's no. No, the allegory of the Mycenaean Greek dude showing up and kind of being a trickster with the Minoan and then destroying their entire infrastructure sounds about right, TBH.
Yeah. All right. Well, we kind of start to figure out some pieces about the bracelet. We're like, did you find anything about that? No. But the goat. Yeah. Zeus made her into a shield. Don't worry about it.
That won't come back at all.
And then we put the head of Medusa on it.
The door knocker on the front of the door was a Medusa head. It was a sign. It was a hint the whole time.
You're right. But yeah, if I'd been skinned by Zeus, I definitely wouldn't be interested in helping him anymore. Yeah, Luke, I agree. I agree. Okay, so prophecies suck, but
it's the only choice we got. It's the only chance we have to get out of here. So Luke goes for it. And Hal has quite the reaction to trying to tell Luke's prophecy.
What would your reaction be if you went to a fortune teller that like was legit? Like you knew they actually saw your future and their reaction was Hal's reaction?
Their reaction is to become scared of you afterwards? I wouldn't feel very good about that personally.
I mean, I feel like I'd feel a little powerful.
Yeah.
Well, the other important thing is he sees fire. Fire good, actually. But the thing that scares him is so many choices, betrayals, sacrifice. Yikes. So we're not going to talk about that. Not important. Fire. Let's do the fire thing, and we figure out Greek fire.
I love
that's so fucking cool for them.
like starts telling us, and then he's like, I actually shouldn't write down the recipe for Greek fire or else the FBI is gonna get on my ass. Like
You don't want kids trying this at home, Rick, do you?
Yeah. But we do actually think we have figured out what Greek fire was finally. There's a theory. There's a specific kind of, I think, like kerosene, basically, that you can only like mine around like Turkey and stuff, where it like floats and has all the properties of Greek fire and like burns super hot. So they think they just like found it, basically.
That's really exciting.
So that's fun. But I do love that it's also a top secret recipe.
Super top secret. So we need lightning to set this place on fire.
It's giving D&D party, nobody took bonfire. All right, let's cobble together a way. How do we start a fire here? How do we light the fuse?
I do very much like that Thalia can't just make lightning happen inside, so she has to like summon clouds outside and then like put it through the electrical outlet, so she has to unscrew that. I don't know, that's very cute to me. Very like mixing the magic and the modern.
Yeah.
Good shit. So we're gonna set this whole fucking house on fire. It'll be fine. Don't you worry about it.
Yeah, this Greek fire shit is dangerous.
Yeah. But Hal's just like, he basically figures out that he's probably gonna die here. So he's like, Luke, take my diary. You know, it's got some notes, and let it help you figure out to make decisions. He tries so hard to change Luke's fate here. He does.
And they are having two different conversations, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, you're talking to a 14-year-old boy. So, and he's seen all the shit that you went through. It's not gonna work. Sorry. You actually just made it more bad. And then the knife, it's the same words that he tells Annabeth later in the story. Gotta love it.
The lore on this knife, we've talked about it a bit already, but
yeah.
We need
the deep lore.
So much more lore about this knife. It's so fucking cursed. Okay, so he's gonna be bait, and
they're not telling Thalia about it until the last second, which is also very sad.
But we have a magic bomb! Yay! And yeah, there's the promise, so we have our first other curse going on here. We're making too many promises right now. I'm sorry, I got distracted. Okay. So, golf club, rip. It's gone. Forever. So sad.
Yeah, his last tie to Westport, Connecticut.
Literally, that's what I was thinking, too.
I'm assuming.
These are, like, inherited golf clubs from, like, May's father or something. Who knows?
Something like that.
Right. He used to take it to Longshore.
Yeah. I was gonna say he probably stole it from Longshore. Like, if I were him running away...
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
He's a thief. You're right. There you go. So, we're setting this place on fucking fire. Hal, why are you yelling for Apollo?
Yeah. I would say fuck that guy, personally.
Yeah, seriously. And also earlier when he's talking to Luke, he says like, oh, maybe it's better that like Apollo punished me. Maybe Apollo was right to do that.
No.
Yeah, I feel like Hal's whole arc has just been like, you know what? I am a danger, actually.
I hate that for him. Justice for Hal,
like,
please.
Yeah, like I think this poor traumatized man has just been through too much. It worked. He broke.
They broke his spirit, and even in his last moments, he is still dealing. Like it's like when someone is suicidal, and when they finally decide to commit suicide, they seem like better for a little while. Because they're like happy that they can like that they've made their plan and they can finally have release. It's like horrible. That. That's yeah. If you know someone who's like severely depressed and they suddenly seem better and they start giving away some of their stuff, that is a warning sign. Please help that person.
So many trigger warnings on this.
Yeah. Sorry to make it like that, but like that is the vibe I'm getting here from Hal, is all I'm saying.
I mean, he does start giving his shit away, so...
Yeah, maybe, exactly.
Maybe also he's like, wow, this kid's got a horrible fate. Maybe if I suck up to Apollo, things won't be that bad. Like, maybe he's thinking ahead.
He's trying.
God, okay, well, so, Thalia grabs her spear, doesn't really do much, but we figured out the shield. Aegis. She has to say Aegis when she taps it. I think that does happen in the books. I think this is retconning why that is a thing.
That's really, really funny. She's a superhero now. She's like Danny Phantom going ghost.
I'm going ghost. Okay, so we're running. It's exploding. Hal is dead behind us. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. And now we're back on the run. And the promise. He promises that he will learn from Hal's mistakes. If the gods ever treat me that badly, I will fight back. Wow.
Yeah. Unfortunate that was the lesson that he took. But also, I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Yeah, he's gonna keep that one. He'll keep that promise.
And then we jump back into a familiar scene, which we all know. Hey, look, we found a small girl. She has a hammer. We give her a knife.
I love that she tries to kill him.
That's
my favorite part. Looks like this small girl that tried to kill me. Daughter.
We have adopted a small child. We are now a family, and we're family. We're promising we're family. That's it.
I'm dad.
Okay.
Yeah, he literally is like, guess I'm my dad now.
He's like, we're gonna break the cycle. I'm dad now. This is gonna go great.
This is gonna work.
I'm never gonna disappoint her the way my father disappointed me.
I would never let anything hurt this small child ever in my whole life.
Yeah. He's never gonna do that.
Of course not.
Nope.
Hey, I can't. He's got this diary of Hal's now. I would never want to read that. Imagine how deeply upsetting that diary is. No.
But also, Rick, you could just, release the diary.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want it.
You can always do that. It's
what I'm
in your
thinking
power.
about now is that at the beginning, right before this, Rick has his little introduction where he says that he's, the scribe of Camp Half-Blood, and he says that this diary was given to him by Chiron. And I'm like, well, we talked at length in our episode about this, about, where Luke left it, where it was found, that kind of thing. But also I'm, imagining Chiron opening this and finding pages of Hal's diary before he finally gets to Luke's entries.
Talking about all the children that he met before they died horrible, horrible deaths.
Well, Chiron would be like, up here.
True.
Oh, that's what happened to all those kids.
Oh man, saying vague warnings and then watching the children die. That's my day job. That's why they pay me the big bucks.
Absolutely. Well, that's that. It's Luke Castellan signing off for now.
That is the kind of shit you put in diaries.
Embarrassing.
We did it, folks. We talked about this really fucked up short story. I'm so glad.
I love it. Rick,
I'm so glad I've read it now. Yeah.
Rick, write more stuff like this, please. I want it.
Yeah. He really should.
I'm waiting for the cameo of this diary somewhere in the show. I want to see the green and brown diary somewhere on Luke's desk on the Princess Andromeda.
That'd be fun.
Oh, man. Be interesting.
Although one of our theories was that he left it behind after the lightning thief, so
yeah.
I think that was my theory. And then yours was he kept going.
Yes. That was probably the more logical theory, and then mine, which I just like more, is that Luke kept it with him the whole time and was writing down things through Battle of the Labyrinth.
That could be an interesting fanfic of just writing all of Luke's diary entries from when he's,
Is this, you know what? Can someone do a search on AO3 right now, actually? I'm curious if anyone's done this.
That's a great question.
Just the entire series from Luke's perspective.
That must
exist. It needed to be done.
There has to be. I know. If I know this fandom, I know somebody, at least one, probably more, has sat down and been like, I'm gonna Midnight Sun this. Let's do it.
I love that Luke is the Edward versus Bella.
Okay, hold on. The Undead Diary of Luke Castellan.
Oh.
How long is this? This is 6,800 words. That's
an AU. Yeah.
This is an AU.
Oh man, someone wrote a diary entry of Luke after Thalia died.
Oh good.
No.
Okay. Yeah, we're getting bits and pieces now.
Oh my god. Nope, that's not long enough. Never mind. I was like, Luke Castellan's inner monologue starting the day he ran away from home and ending on the day he died. I was like, wild. And then it's only 1,700 words. I'm like, come on, people. That's... I'm looking for big. Okay, 25K. Oh, about Luke's quest. Okay. Oh, The Diary of Hal Green, 15K.
Oh no!
Okay.
Oh no!
But I think it's just the Hal part.
That's good too, though.
By AO3 user Shiki, SHIIKI.
Yep.
That's a title.
It seems like the
Puppet
answer
Master
is there are pieces of it, but we need the full published.
Oh no, I found it.
Okay.
My Demigod memoirs. Sorry, never mind. I got so excited because I looked at the word count first. It's almost 200,000 words.
But it's also about their OCs.
It's an OC. Oh, man.
Damn it.
Oh, and that's it. There's only 17 results. I searched Luke Castellan diary on AO3, though, so that's what that yielded.
Well, Rick, you can still do it. You can still do these things.
Release
you need more
it.
content, clearly, so do it.
If you need a co-author...
Someone who really knows the Connecticut life.
All right. Well, sounds like we did it. You want to tell the people about your podcasting and whatnot?
Yeah. Where can the people find you on the internet and what you do?
Yeah. We are from the Monster Donut podcast.
Mm-hmm.
They're so cool.
Which is a deep dive podcast.
Yeah.
You can find us on social media at PJO Pod, on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yeah, you can also find us on YouTube now.
Yeah, we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on wherever you listen to your podcasts. Check us out.
Good stuff. I love you guys. It's been an awesome pod.
Thank you. We love you too.
Thank you.
Anybody got a media plug that they want to talk about?
Yeah, what you been consuming lately that you think people would like?
What have I been consuming?
I also don't have any ideas, so...
What do you say?
I just started Shōgun, and it's great so far. I mean, I'm on episode 1, but I'm very excited to keep going.
I need to.
Nice.
I'm that nerd who's read the book, so I do need to watch it. I read it a while ago, though. It's been a few years. You know what? I started watching Invincible. That's what I've been watching. It's really good. I'm a fan.
I need to actually watch that. I watched the first 2 episodes with my roommates, and it got, really gory like it does.
Yeah.
And they were like, what is happening? Why is this happening? Stop looking at this. And I was like, okay. So I just need to take some time and dive into it.
I'm really enjoying it. I really like, on a meta level, what they're doing with the idea of Superman and the Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fun the way it all developed. I also sort of did the same thing with it as I did with Game of Thrones back in the day, where the first episode I saw was a pretty dramatic thing, pretty deep into the series. And I was like, whoa, what's going on there? And I one of the first things I saw in Game of Thrones was the episode where Ned Stark, spoiler alert for season 1 of Game of Thrones, the episode where Ned Stark gets beheaded.
Mm.
That was one of the first Game of Thrones scenes I saw. And my dad was watching it, and I was like, what's going on? And he was just like, oh, I was like, did he commit treason? And my dad was like, that's a complicated question.
See, I don't know any Game of Thrones things. I only know this by reputation, so.
Sorry to spoil.
No, I knew that. It's fine.
I have a lot of thoughts and feelings about Game of Thrones. Don't ask me to get into it. I
won't. Don't worry about it.
Last time I think I recommended Black Sails. It's on Netflix now.
I heard. I think I'm gonna have to check that out.
It's real good. I think y'all will really like it. It's a good time.
I've only heard good things, so
pirate media, we gotta love it.
It's so I need to rewatch it. I also need to rewatch it while listening along with Fathoms. That's my next thing. That's Daphne Olive's podcast that analyzes every episode of Black Sails.
Yeah. Well,
you got one, Charles?
I try not to replug things, but I guess I'm just gonna have to replug what I've been watching recently. Which okay. I was I started this because I was I'm stressed. I'm dealing with the depressive spirals, so I restarted My Little Pony to give me that dopamine hit, because it just makes me happy to go back to a simpler time where we learn about friendship. And you know what? Luke should watch My Little Pony. There's your plug. He needs to just learn about that. Just just friendship and love and all that. There you go.
I caught up on Wayne Family Adventures, which is the webtoon that is kind of like official DC, but it's not canon. Wayne Family Adventures is about if the Bat family was like actually a family who hung out with each other.
I'm so glad. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's just cute fluff of them, like, you know, being a family and like having emotional conversations that they should have in real life, and they won't. It is so weirdly difficult to even find shit of like the Robins like hanging out ever, like doing anything together. There is a short series called Robins of where they're all actually there. It's like 6 issues that I need to read soon.
You do. You and your obsession with the Bat family.
Sorry, I like them. They're like fucked up, but I like to read fan fiction about them getting along.
I'm glad.
So yeah, Wayne Family Adventures is pretty fun. It's light reading.
I should check that out. That sounds fun.
It is, yeah. Yeah, you want to release us from this mortal coil?
I guess I could. Like, get out of my fucking weird house in Richmond, actually. Like, we need to escape. We're gonna set this place on fire. This guy is nuts.
We're gonna have to ask Tina to like tell us where this house is. I'm sure that she knows.
Oh my god, next time we go to Richmond, we're just gonna like go searching for Hal's house.
Yeah.
Just like y'all went searching for Luke's house.
I think I did find it. I think I know exactly what house Rick saw and was like, that's it.
Hell yeah.
Amazing. Well,
all right.
Let's get the hell out of
Bye.
Richmond. Bye. Hello, listeners! Editing Charlie here with a patron shoutout. If y'all didn't know, our $10 and up patrons now get a shoutout on the pod. So now, I get to shout out our lovely God Complex level patron, Matt. Matt is so wonderful and has been a supporter since we started the OTAG Patreon. Thank you so much for all your support.
You can follow this podcast socials at Of the Eldest Gods Pod on Instagram and Tumblr, and at Of the Eldest Gods on Twitter. You can send us an iris message through oftheeldestgodspod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, join us at patreon.com/oftheeldestgods. By becoming a patron, you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server, where you'll be able to chat with us and other listeners about episodes and anything Percy Jackson related. Our $5 patron tier also gets you access to Against All Odds, our monthly bonus show. There, we'll talk about a wide variety of topics, which usually have something to do with mythology. No promises. You can check out our merch store on Redbubble to find custom designs made by Charlie. Or if you cannot or do not want to support us financially, we'd really appreciate a rating, a review, or letting your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. That really helps. You can find me, Raye, at HeyHeyRaye, spelled R-A-Y-E, on Twitter. If you want to hear more from me, check out Barbie Movie Slap, a podcast where my co-host Ted and I discuss Barbie's cinematic universe. That podcast Twitter is at Barbie Slaps.
And you can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms, but on Twitter I'm at GreenPixie123, which I'm totally not salty about. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws. I sometimes do the YouTube thing on my channel, Charlie Mac. That's M-A-C-K. Our music was written by Isabel Strauss-Riggs and recorded and edited by Ian M. Riggs. You can find Izzy at Kane_I, that's I as in the body part, on Instagram and Twitter. She also currently makes video essays on the YouTube channel Kane I. Feel free to message her about making music for your project or editing your podcast. Of the Eldest Gods is proud to be a part of Deus Ex Media, which features great podcasts like My Cabbages, an Avatar podcast that follows the true hero of the Avatar The Last Airbender series, the Cabbage Cart Guy.
Coffee, tea, honor, cabbage. Long ago, the 4 elements lived in harmony. Then, shit went totally cray when the Avatar attacked. Only the Cabbage Man, merchant of fine cruciferous vegetables, could stand against his trolling. But when the world needed some dank veg, he vanished. 10 years have passed, and my partner and I have started a new podcast.
My cabbages! An Avatar podcast.
A weekly show about Avatar: The Last Airbender. Whether it's Sokka's new line of cologne.
Hey, look at you, sitting there on a seal. Well, now look back at me. I'm on an even bigger seal. Now look away.
D&D related antics.
You have to make an acrobatics check for that, and Aang just like unzips his pants and whips out his d20s. He's just like, I got this.
Or randomly breaking into song.
Go bending waterfall.
We'll stumble our way through the greatest show ever made, one episode at a time.
You can reach us at CabbageCast, which is our Twitter, or
subscribe wherever you catch pod.
Rotten cabbages? What kind of slum do you think this is?
Of the Eldest Gods is based on the series by Rick Riordan. Right now we are discussing Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Remember to follow us on your favorite podcatcher and meet us back here every Thursday.
Close the door. Close the door! Okay. Sorry, my girlfriend was finished Titan's Curse.
Yay!
Oh, first time.
We're getting so close.
Dave X Media.